Dude, it's April, which is a big deal because the March sales figures just came out, which means we finally know sales data for Ford and for GM. They switched to quarterly reporting of their sales data, and the first quarter just ended, which means we know now how all the 2019 trucks and vans and commercial vehicles have been selling. So in this video, we're going to go through all the sales data and tell you which truck brands are selling well, which truck brands are selling not so well. It's a top list. Like I said, this video is going to focus not just on trucks, it'll do pickups, but it'll also be commercial vehicles like heavy trucks, the Ford F650 for example, and also vans like the Ram ProMaster, anything commercial, anything pickup truck related. This is the truck video, but tomorrow, it's a two-part series, we're going to also be doing the car video. So you have to tune in tomorrow if you want to hear which cars and car brands are selling well or selling not so well. The worst selling brand so far in 2019, year to date, is Nissan. This year they've sold just 39,066 trucks. The best selling model from Nissan is the Frontier. 20,221 Frontiers have been moved so far this year. And the worst selling model is the NV van, which they only sold 4,507. Now, compared to the same time last year, that's actually a pretty big drop-off, 11.4% less than the same point last year. The brand overall has sold 331,536 vehicles, which is pretty good. But let's talk about these trucks, Nathan.
Yeah, now it's just about the trucks this time. And bear in mind that the Nissan Frontier, which is their best-selling truck, is also one of their oldest vehicles, period. It has been around for over a decade and with very little change. And unfortunately for Nissan, people are starting to catch on to the fact that they just haven't changed it for an awful long time. Now recently Nissan did announce that they are going to be giving the vehicle an all-new makeover. We're talking from the frame up. But the big changes really do come in with the engine, and that's another thing that is ancient. With the NV van, well, that's another vehicle that's actually kind of getting long in the tooth and, frankly speaking, is based on an older platform. And a lot of people are looking at other vans as a better vehicle to buy.
All right, next up, the second worst selling truck brand so far this year is actually GMC, and this is the first time we've heard about GMC's sales figures on the air. They sold 54,066 pickup trucks, commercial vehicles, or vans. The best-selling truck for them is, no surprises, the Sierra. They've sold 40,546 Sierras, and their worst-selling vehicle is their van, the Savannah, which they've only sold 6,566 vehicles. Year over year on trucks, GMC is actually doing pretty well. They've grown 1.1% in their truck segment, but in total, the whole brand, which includes some crossovers and SUVs, they've sold 125,577 units, which is actually down compared to last year. But why is this Sierra selling how it's selling?
Well, the Sierra is pretty much all new, and because of that, frankly speaking, it's a novelty. It's a neat little truck that came out on the market. Personally speaking, I love that truck, especially in the AT4 format. Ugh, what a great off-roader. But the Savannah, well, frankly, a lot of people didn't realize they were still building that van. It's pretty much a fleet seller only, and as such, you're not going to see very many of these at a dealership, if any. And the bottom line is, well, judging by those numbers, not many of you have seen them.
All right, should we keep moving?
Oh, absolutely.
Next up, a rather big brand in terms of overall sales is Toyota. This year, they've sold 83,283 trucks. Best-selling model, no surprises here. It's the Tacoma, the best-selling mid-sized truck. 58,183 Tacomas have sold already this year. The worst-selling model is the other truck that they offer, the Tundra. They've sold 25,100 Tundras. Toyota is up on the air in terms of truck sales, plus 4% compared to the same time last year. And the brand overall, of course, Toyota sells a lot of other vehicles. So far, they've sold 476,925 cars and trucks as a brand in whole. But let's talk about the trucks.
The Tacoma, no surprise here. The brand has a ton of loyal buyers who absolutely love their Tacomas. I used to own one. And the bottom line is the vehicle is known for being reliable, and it is known for being fairly rugged. Toyota is soon going to be on the lower end in terms of newest vehicles out there, but still the Tacoma is their newest truck, because then there's the Tundra, their lowest selling vehicle. The Tundra is ancient, and that vehicle is very much due for a complete redo. So hopefully we'll be seeing a vehicle that's more efficient, more powerful, and frankly more competitive in the near future.
Yeah, you know, we heard some really interesting news recently that both the Tacoma and the Tundra are soon going to be sharing a platform, which raised a lot of questions for us, but it does indicate that these two trucks will both be getting an update in the very near future. So I guess we're just going to have to stay tuned for more information on that. Let's keep on moving. The next brand we're going to talk about is the other GM side of things. It's Chevrolet. So far, they've sold 132,087 trucks so far in 2019. The best-selling model, no surprises, it's the Silverado. 114,313 Silverados have made up that number. The worst-selling model is the LCF, the low cab forward, of which they've only sold 559. Year over year from the same time in 2018, they're down actually a lot, 15.3%. But Chevrolet as a whole, including their car sales, so far has sold 452,401 vehicles, making them still one of the biggest car brands and truck brands here in the United States.
Frankly, even though the Silverado is all new, it hasn't been as well received as I believe Chevrolet expected it to be. And because of that, frankly speaking, I think these numbers are indicative of a truck that could have done a little bit better. Now, as for the LCF, that is basically a cab vehicle that is only for fleets. It's built by Isuzu, and it's fairly old, and so that's one of those vehicles that's in need of an update in order to perhaps become a little bit more popular again.
You know, the next best-selling vehicle for Chevrolet is the Colorado, their midsize truck. And actually, despite the brand being down 15%, the Colorado is up quite a bit this year. So perhaps it'll be the case, maybe, I don't know, when the Silverado gets its next engine options, right? The turbo just came out, and we have that straight six diesel coming in the near future as well. Maybe once those show up, the numbers will start to increase a little bit.
It would make sense that that would happen. That and then the addition of the heavy duties, which are hitting real soon.
Next up is Ram. So far this year, Ram has sold 137,013 pickup trucks. The best-selling model, it's the Ram pickups, 120,026 of those. The worst-selling model is the ProMaster City van. They've only sold 3,668 vans. But Ram is way up compared to 2018, plus 21% in terms of sales volume. So what are they doing right?
Well, for one thing, they've overtaken Chevrolet. And by doing that, they've really smacked General Motors in the face by doing, I mean, everybody's thrilled about it at Ram, obviously. And one of the reasons why they should be proud of that is because they've introduced a vehicle that is award-winning, interior, exterior. They've really pushed it up to another level. They are now at a point to where they challenge Ford. That's huge with the pickup trucks. As for the ProMaster City, it's not the newest van on the block anymore. It's actually a half-decent little guy. It has still some of the best numbers in its class in terms of payload, and it has a little four-cylinder with a 9-speed automatic transmission. It's one of the only small vans we've actually taken up the iGauntlet, and it did all right. Bottom line is that that van is getting a little bit old.
Speaking of the Ram 1500, I mean, we gave it our Gold Hitch Award for the best towing truck of 2019. And we actually bought one. We have a 2019 Ram Rebel. We just did a full 6-month long-term update on that truck. You can go ahead over to TFLtruck.com and check out that video to see how we've liked it and what we haven't liked so far in our 6 months of ownership. But it's no surprise to me that the Ram is selling so well because the truck is all new and they knocked it out of the park.
They really did. They really sweated the details.
Number one, no surprise, guys. It's the same as it seems like it always is. Ford is the best-selling truck brand so far this year in 2019. They've sold 278,898 trucks already this year, blowing everybody else completely out of the water. The best-selling model, no surprises, it's the F-Series pickup, 214,611 pickup trucks sold. The worst-selling model are their heavy trucks, so like the F-650, like we mentioned at the beginning of the video, 3,293 heavy trucks have been sold by Ford. Year over year, Ford is actually up a little bit, 4.1% more sales than at the same time in 2018. And of course, Ford is one of those companies that also sells a lot of cars and crossovers. Total, the brand has sold 565,274 vehicles in 2019. Why do people keep coming back to the F-Series? It's always the best-selling truck.
Yeah, it is, and it has been for years. And the main reason why is because Ford has found that recipe, that special sauce of giving you something that is affordable and at the same time fully customizable to where you can go from a standard cab V6 basic truck that you can afford all the way up to something that's over 80 grand that has every bell and whistle possible. They've done it with having vehicles that can do serious hardcore off-roading like nobody else, like the Raptor.
Yep.
They've done it with having vehicles like their Platinums that are outstanding luxury vehicles. They've managed to do all of this within their truck brand. Nobody else can touch them right now.
For me, I think the special sauce with the F-Series, especially the half tons, have to be the EcoBoost power plants, both the 2.7 and the 3.5. They're very powerful, consistently in our testing, the quickest trucks that we've tested up here at a mile above sea level, but they also offer really good capacity in terms of towing and payload and pretty decent fuel mileage. And out of the power plants you can choose from right now, I think you have a hard time overlooking the 3.5 EcoBoost, at least in my mind. It doesn't sound as good, sounds like a toaster, but it does perform exceptionally well.
Well, there you go, guys. We have managed to cover all the trucks. And remember, this is quarterly, so you're going to have to wait 3 more months until we can do this again. Thank you, Ford. Thank you, General Motors. Now, don't forget, tomorrow on TFLnow, we have another video that covers all the car brands. That's 33 brands, and that is a long video. So definitely get some popcorn and enjoy that one. For the Fast Lane Truck, this is Nathan.
And Michael.
We'll see you next time.